What's the adult version of there is no Santa Claus? Retirement is not a physical age. It is a financial state. Even worse is when retirement is a physical state, as in can't really afford to retire but are unable to work. Lots of people were the smartest kid in their high school. My life will really begin when X happens. Right now is just a phase. Everything will be better and easier after I finish undergrad. Everything will be better and easier after I'm out of grad school. Everything will be better and easier after I'm out of this shit job, me at different phases of life. Though to be fair, that job was really shit, and things are better and easier now, but I still have to put in a ton of work to make things better still. Edit, I've said this in reply to a lot of comments below, so I will also say it up here. Things did get better over time, but not the abrupt change to everything that I was hoping and expecting. I kept moving the finish line. I'm done with undergrad, but things still haven't changed like I thought. Things must get better after I'm done with grad school. I refused to focus on myself, and blamed my circumstance for how crappy my life felt. The main reason that things got better after my shitty job was that I suddenly had more free time at home, rather than on the road traveling for work, so I could focus on my personal life and start doing things I actually wanted. Really, it comes down to putting in the effort to make the changes you want to see in your life, rather than expecting everything to change for the better once some external factor changes. Your parents were just normal people trying to figure shit out just like you. This honestly blew my mind when I came to that realization, but it also helped me to really connect with them. More so than when I was younger. Promotions aren't always merit-based, and senior management people don't actually know what they're doing. I got a pretty serious promotion recently that I didn't have the required education for just by smiling at everyone and pretending to be positive and friendly. It wasn't worth it though, because now I can't draw a line between me pretending to be friendly and me just being friendly, so now I think I'm slowly becoming naturally pleasant to be around. Drive sports cars, date movie stars, buy things that are not for sale. Who knows, Master Wayne? You start pretending to have fun, you might even have a little by accident. Hashtag X200B. A tangerine, Master Wayne. Hashtag a tangerine. Quick shout out to Ronald Batman memes. I saw a child playing with a tangerine. The size of a tangerine. The bandit had been the tangerine. Some tangerines just want to watch the world burn. That sometimes terrible people will just keep being terrible and never have a change of heart or anything negative come of it. That often they'll benefit from being terrible. But I'd like to believe that no matter what, at least I don't have to spend my life being that person, and I'll be happier with even moderate success that isn't created by being an impossibly shitty person. And that's the closest I'll get to holiday spirit, even though there is no Santa. Rhetoric wins over logic reality. Case in point, the world. When you realize that Santa is indeed real, and it's you. Well shit. That sounds expensive. There is no such thing as the one in terms of relationships. You are potentially compatible with a great many people, and probably some people you wouldn't expect. Whether or not you ever meet them or give them a shot is a whole other thing. But the fairy tale idea that we are destined to be with one person in particular is surprisingly common among grown adults. If they're 1 in a million, then there are 7,300 just like them. I like those odds. Dude, it's like 1 in a million. No, he just said it's me versus 7,300 girls of my dreams. Yeah, but each of those girls have 7,300 ideal companions. Can you outdo 53,290,000 others to get any of them? Ah shit. Don't worry dude, those 7,300 ideal companions would need to outdo 389,017,000,000. Wait a minute, how many people are there on the planet again? It makes me feel better that it is mathematically impossible for anyone to find the partner of their dreams. Maybe this will get mom off my back. When they hire you on the spot, it's not because you're an amazing person with so many credentials. It's because it's a really shitty job, and they desperately need to fill it for the 3rd time this month. Sex isn't always good. Hashtag X200B, my first partner was amazing. After a year or so with her, we broke up and I was with someone else. It sort of crushed me when the sex chemistry was so bad I couldn't even keep an erection half the time. Completely blew my mind the first time I came across this. Never thought I would ever have to be the one to fake an orgasm. How does that play out? Assuming you are male, like how do you actually fake it? It's pretty simple with a condom. Basically no different than a woman faking. Right, I've done this. You just stop and take the condom off, give them a fist bump and dip. There are terrible, awful people in the world that get away with all of it and die peacefully in their sleep with no repercussions. There are people with hearts of gold who get continually ducked by life for no goddamn reason. The adult version of "there's no Santa" is the universe doesn't care. Going to college doesn't guarantee you a good job. You're a hard worker. You're fired anyway because we're reducing headcount. But I was told working hard meant. Yay, Santa Claus. Employer loyalty is dead. My grandfather who helped raise me taught me the value of workplace loyalty. If you work hard for your employer during good times and bad, your boss will be just as loyal to you. In my 20 years in the workforce, I can definitely say he was wrong. He wasn't necessarily wrong, just a product of a different time. There was a time when hard work and loyalty to the company was repaid with loyalty from the company, but that time is gone. All employees are disposable if profits decline, and unfortunately the longest tenured workers tend to be the highest paid, so fall under the microscope first. Then companies complain that workers aren't loyal and change jobs too easily. What bothers me is when I run into, and actually worked with, people in companies that perpetuate this mentality even when they have every reason not to. You have office clerks or mailroom coordinators who are completely absorbed by the idea that companies are doing us a favor by keeping us around and that we should all be thankful we even work here. And these aren't old-timers, these are people in their 20s and 30s. These are workers who are taken complete advantage of professionally, and it has bled into their personal lives, but they actually think it's normal. Like if you work from 8 to 5, Monday to Friday, you are doing the absolutely minimum. Until you put in your hours, answer emails and calls after work, pay for work expenses yourself, use your personal phone and car to get work done, you aren't fully committed to the company. What the duck? I just recently had to explain to one of my staff that she shouldn't work off the clock for 20 minutes to make up for being late 20 minutes the day before, due to weather issues, even though she is hourly. People are raised on the idea of living to work instead of working to live. And when you express support of working to live rather than the other way around, you get shit on for it being dedicated. It's insane. You probably won't have summers off. Probably, I'd say it's a little more definitive than probably. Unless you're a teacher. That's what I was always told by friends and family who are teachers, and then they'd go and teach summer school. I always assumed the teachers that had to teach summer school were the ones who got in trouble during the school year, like the students who had to take summer school. I know it's wrong, but I don't want it to be. For me, it was finding out those HGTV shows are all more or less staged. I had a friend on one of those shows before. They were approached by the show through their realtor after closing for one of the house hunter style of shows. In other words, it's 100% scripted because you have to buy a house before you're even considered for the show. I wonder how many people got to see a better house when they were on the show and had buyer's remorse. When I learned this, it made a lot more sense why sometimes they chose a house that made you think, WTF are they doing? Or when they find dumb, nitpicky, or nonsensical reasons to dislike a house. Oh, the guest bedroom is too small. I don't like the backsplash in the kitchen, that's a deal breaker. This carpet is the wrong shade of chartreuse, it would have to come out. The most common one I see, house has up to date, nearly new bathroom, we would have to redo this ugly old bathroom. I'm sure some of the time it's people having bad taste or being hard to please, but most of the time it's just that it isn't the house they will end up choosing, so they have to nitpick the shit out of it so they have a reason to reject it. We really want a mid-century modern. OPENCONCEPT.